Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV time. We're talking club rugby. Of course, as you know, we've got the first 2 weeks out the way. Jerome Paarwater. Jerome, let me just ask you this. Alistair, I'm going to come to you for the same question. The past 4 months, there's been so much activity in terms of pre-season training, post-season training, off-season training. And then, of course, we had clubs starting with their friendlies. We've had varsity cups, schools cup, etc. I get the feeling we haven't really started talking about club rugby yet. But I now get the feeling that that's it now. The festivals are over. The 2 weeks of testing the water is done. And this week is really showtime.
Yeah, I think from this week onwards, Easter tournaments are done. The school festivals are all done. So I think from this week onwards, it's going to be back to business, to clubs now. Their focus are solely going to be on club rugby now, because everybody's going to be busy. Some clubs still have a bit of a break, but most of the clubs are busy starting from this weekend. So I think the focus will change here.
Yeah, Alice, the same question for you. We're not there yet. I feel like it hasn't been switched on.
Yeah, so for me, it goes way back into the beginning of the year. We had our Cape Town 10s. From our 10s club, most clubs had 6 friendlies.
Yeah.
Friendlies, not league fixtures.
Yeah.
You know, and then we had 4 universities playing in the varsity tournaments. 2 played in the final, 4 played in the semi-final. So there was a lot of focus on there. Then the Easter tournaments came up, even though the league started. But now all of that is out the way, and it's just league focus from this week coming on.
So do we have, considering that then, do you think that the teams have a feeling yet, or how far are they of having a feeling of what the opposition looks like? Because as difficult as it might be just to keep your own wheels turning, the other part of rugby is you wanting to know what the opposition is doing.
I think teams would have a fair chance because of the amount of friendlies that has taken place across the different leagues. You know, so teams would have an idea, and we're into the 3rd week of the competition. You know, teams record their games. It's on social media, on different platforms. So teams have an idea of what's out
Jerome,
there.
if you're looking at what the enemy is doing, then you must have a feeling for it.
Yeah, you must definitely. And I know a lot of coaches go around to when they not play, or even if there's in the week when the clubs are playing, they make sure that somebody of the club is going to watch a friendly game.
Well, Jerome, we know that you didn't see the Van der Stel St. George's game last week, so we're going to take a look at some of the highlights. Here we go. Van der Stel St. George's. right, there we go. St George's, Jerome playing at, they're playing away. They were playing at Van der Stel. Halftime score there was 22-8. Alistair looked at the game last week. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, you can see the way, the trend, how the game was going the first half. I mean, it seems like Van der Stel was in control. There was one breakaway from St George's. But I also think that, and I think we said this earlier, that St George's need to, because we know they can run with the ball, but they need to focus on their set pieces. They need to focus on their scrums and on their lineouts, because they're going to struggle. It's not touch rugby that you can just pass the ball and play. You have to do your basics first. So I think that's a big work on for them. And Van der Stel, I mean, it's their first game sort of in Super A. They did well. We know all the players that they got in, so it seems like they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. All right, Ali, we'll come back to you after the second half. Let's take a look. This is now Van der Stel St George's second half. All right, there we go, folks. There was, of course, the highlights there of Van der Stel St George's. Alistair, you've seen the highlights before. Anything you want to add? Of course, this weekend, Van der Stel played Durban.
I think just the two distinctive styles of play there. Van der Stel was much more direct with their forwards, and then St George's is used to giving the ball some air. But I agree with Jerome. I think set pieces where it's an area where they need to focus on.
Jerome, have you seen any of the new laws come into play yet? And it is starting to make sense that if you, for example, in a line out, if the ball goes skew, the player keeps going.
Yeah, I see, because most of the teams now, the opposition side, they contest, they actually go up, even if the ball doesn't come to their side. So I can see that they do that, and I can see the nines dropping back or not passing the tunnel at the scrum. So yeah, I can see.
So what do you consider contesting? You just put one guy there and say, jump half a foot in the ground.
Yeah, look, you have to make an attempt to go up. If it looks like you're up, then obviously. But the refs also, they'll use their discretion if they see like you just like faking, making like they're not going to give it if it's not
a real jump.
Skew.
But you could be doing that, but anyway. All right, folks, we're going to have a little discussion around the laws probably a little bit later. It's still coming up, but we'll take a break. Don't go away.